that shit, I can imagine lost.
Why people hate Sakura. Now, I feel like as a kid, Sakura really was not a very likable character, but the more Naruto Shippuden, she didn't really have too many highlights either. But I don't feel like Sakura deserves as much hate as she'd be getting. You feel me?
Happy
But let's
20th
see what Kado
anniversary
got
to
to say
Naruto.
about it.
This is a series that we both love, so we want to attract more Naruto fans to the audience by discussing obscure topics in the fandom. Hoodie put out a great video last week highlighting how Naruto, particularly Shippuden, has done very well to actually retcon its own material. A lot of series are regarded as masterpieces because they're meticulously planned, and the benefits of that strategy are obvious to us all.
Naruto
However, as
Shippuden
fans
not
of
a
anime and
masterpiece,
manga,
but OG
I think we
Naruto
ought
is
to
definitely a masterpiece
appreciate
to
the
me.
skill that it takes to construct your story as it's coming out week by week, and still to create an end product that feels cohesive for your audience. As more and more of the manga we see today are meticulously planned, I can't help but appreciate the charm of this older style of writing manga.
I feel
But
like
since
if someone deserves all the hate that Sakura gets, I feel like 10-10 should, bro.
rereading
10-10
the
was
entire
literally
Naruto series
useless,
for
bro.
fun, I
You're
actually
not
want to
naming
take
that
this
one 10-10
opportunity to
highlight. I
highlight
promise
some
you
of the
can't.
narrative cohesion that this franchise has to offer, as I do believe Naruto is slept on in critical spheres. For example, Kishimoto has always been great with his use of imagery and visual metaphor, including things like Sasuke's curse mark resembling darkness slowly enveloping his body, or Naruto and Sasuke both having eyes that turn red, which correlate to their similar burdens and perspectives.
I didn't
But
realize
that just scratches the surface of Kishimoto's brilliance. I am Zero, this is Kado, and today I want to celebrate Kishimoto's greatest addition to the Battle Shonen conversation, Team 7.
I feel
After
like
all, what's a
Kishimoto
better test of
cannot really
cohesion
write
than a
female
teamwork
characters that
drill?
good,
Am I
in my
right,
opinion.
Kakashi? If you also love this franchise and talking about anime, maybe consider subscribing to the channel as it really helps us a lot. Ring the bell if you want to pass. Each member of Team 7 has a dream that they're trying to achieve.
Yes.
And the fact that they're each striving for something that seems
What was
impossible to them is a
Sakura's
common
dream?
struggle that they can bond over. For Sakura, her dream is to make the highly coveted Sasuke belong to her.
Oh.
Naruto dreams of becoming a Hokage that surpasses all who came before him.
did.
Sasuke dreams
My
of
goat.
becoming powerful enough to kill the greatest genius the Uchiha clan had ever seen.
He did
And
that.
Kakashi's dream is something that we don't really get to learn in part 1. Maybe he himself doesn't even know it. But Kakashi dreams of becoming a worthy hero of the Leaf, which is akin to a death wish in his mind in part 1. We get our first glimpse of this in chapter 9, when Kakashi shows the children the monument to ninja who were killed in action, and remarks that his best friend's name is on the list. When he's introduced, Kakashi is already regarded as one of the Leaf's greatest heroes in the current era, but as a result of his survivor's guilt, he feels like an imposter. The truth is, each of them do. Kakashi's role has been thrust upon him, but the Genin have each proclaimed that they will be the ones to fulfill the role they have chosen. And the dreams of those Genin are hinted towards even earlier in chapters 3 and 4. We see what each member of Team 7 desires. Naruto wants to be closer to Sakura. Romantic love is a sort of yearning for acceptance. He wants Sakura to acknowledge him. And we see that the way Naruto feels about Sakura, Sakura feels about Sasuke. She wants his acknowledgement and acceptance. But it seems like there's no one like that for Sasuke. When he hears about the teams, instead of thinking who he wants on his team, he thinks of how any potential teammates could just get in his way.
Sasuke
Get in the
really
way
only
of what? We
he
don't
had
know
one
yet.
thing
But
on
by
his
the
mind
end of
at
the
all
chapter we
times.
learn that this is because
In
Sasuke is alone, like Naruto.
Part 1.
So this moment reveals that he wants to stay that way for some reason. In the next chapter, we learn that Sasuke's one-tracked mind is focused solely on killing one man.
In part
But
1, he didn't
Naruto
really get
just
close
automatically assumes it's
to
him
anybody,
because
to be
he's
honest.
very traumatized. Why does Sakura seek Sasuke's approval so much? Sakura strives to
He's
feel
cool.
more feminine. Sakura's inner voice has a lot in common with Naruto, which is kinda hilarious. Naruto routinely says the things that inner Sakura wishes Sasuke would say. Inner Sakura is this boisterous, volatile character that often jokes at the expense of others, but outwardly Sakura is a very meek and well-behaved girl. We learn that this is based in her rivalry with Ino. The first person who acknowledged Sakura when she was going through her mandatory childhood bullying was Ino. She took
I did
pity
not
on
get
this
that.
cute, sad girl. Relatable. Ino tried to help Sakura acknowledge her insecurities to help her be more confident, but the way she talks to Sakura is still clumsy. Yeah, your forehead's pretty huge, but that's no reason to cover your cute face. It's just weird. Ino's designed like a mean girl, down to the blonde
That's
hair
how
and smug
kids talk to each other,
dialogue.
right?
Even when she's trying to help her friend,
I
she
would assume
can't help
so.
but point out that the bullies had a point about Sakura's huge forehead. Given Haku's words about the fate of those who possess Kekkei Genkai and how Sasuke was probably already familiar with that burden, I think we can assume that Ino already feels the pressure of being one of the next Ino Shikacho. That's probably the underlying cause of her apparent need to feel superior to everyone all of the time. But because of Ino's constant showing off, Sakura did admire her abilities. She could get the upper hand against others, she was knowledgeable as a shinobi, and she was clearly more trained than someone whose parents were civilians or otherwise unavailable to train their children. Sakura looked up to and envied Ino, and so she subconsciously started to follow her, which turned into emulating her. It even worked, as Sakura started to become a girl that her former bullies envied. She even started attracting romantic attention since Naruto was into her, but obviously she would have wanted to learn and develop more to gain the same attention from Sasuke. So she kept up her habits. When Sakura's confidence grew, she even started to emulate Ino's superior attitude. And that's when she and Ino started to clash. Sakura realized that she was hanging around with someone who constantly puts her down in little ways, but expects her to brush it off. And since she has gained confidence, she wants to no longer feel inferior to her peers, including Ino. This results in Sakura and Ino trading these barbs back and forth, and ultimately full-blown arguments and fights. Since neither one will back down, they declare that they are rivals and part ways. And so, Sakura fights with Ino to prove that she isn't an imposter. She's a true kunoichi of the leaf, who won't be looked down on by others. And she feels that triumphing over her rival in love in any way will bring her closer to the day that Sasuke falls in love with her. But even still, Ino is a part of Sakura. Ino is her concept of a kunoichi, one who is well versed in the arts of ninja and the ways of women. There's still an aspect of Sakura's psyche that puts Ino on a pedestal. So much so that when Sakura rejects her true voice, Ino's is the one that comes out. This is where inner Sakura comes in. Inner Sakura isn't the true side of Sakura necessarily. It's the impulsive side that can't imagine failure. It's the childish side of Sakura. It's supposed to show us that this highly feminine, subdued front that Sakura puts up in part 1 is just what she presents to the world in an attempt to appear mature. But around Sasuke, Sakura can't help but be herself. A foolish girl in love. But that's all for this time. This video is getting too long quickly. I'm gonna have to do some cutting for this one or make it a two-parter or something.
Why people hate Sakura?
Well, anyway, thanks for listening to my dumb rants if you made it this far. Subscribe for more.
Sakura had potential as a character. She was from no clan and had seemingly no special ability, but she could control chakra very well. I would have kept her the way she was in part 1, but I would have had her start her training with Tsunade right after she came to the village and have her more involved in the Sasuke retrieval arc. Now starting from Shippuden, she was starting to be redeemed, but then she went back to being sidelined and Sasuke this, Sasuke that, and didn't do anything, not even going to get into the atrocity of the 5 Kage Summit. The other thing to note is her novel, Sakura Hidden? Is there 2 D's in Hidden? Sakura Hidden was not animated at the end of the series. They really did not only her a disservice, but her novel also got a little bit more involved in showing the politics of Konoha, as well as one of the best fights in the series. I feel like there's a lot of characters who they did a disservice in Shippuden, and that's why I think OG Naruto is way better than Naruto Shippuden. But Naruto Shippuden had a lot of all-time great bad guys, Madara Pain. But yeah, one interesting thing is Sakura's development throughout the first 2 arcs of the series. In Choland Waves, Force of Death. At first, she appears superficial, insulting Lee and looking down on Naruto. Clearly, a massive prejudice issue, which some are using crazy words. I ain't gonna lie. So the video's over, but the question seems still pretty much unanswered. What about Yeah. Yeah, this is the answer why people do not like Sakura, but I think people don't like Sakura because I don't think people like Sakura because I don't know, she just wasn't likable. Like that's pretty much what it comes down to. She just was not a very likable character in part 1, and then in part 2 it didn't really help, you feel me? And now in Boruto, people probably don't even care about her, you feel me? But yeah, shouts out to Kaido, you feel me? I'm gonna leave the video link down below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, you feel me? And yeah, have a blessed day and peace.
Then she gon' pull out the tape and tie me up, then lock me away. That bitch, she said that she hate me. I am not phased, my niggas waiting at your place. For all this shit escalate, I need to know how many niggas you've played. How did you take off your tape? She looking right at me and she swerves into the